Hello, this is the news on NTA International. I'm Najaa Atutejani, and these are the headlines. President Muhammadu Buhari meets top echelon of nation's security apparatus, takes far-reaching measures to sustain peace, enterprise and hitch-free electoral process. Chairman, Independent National Electoral Commission assures Nigerians of free, fair and credible elections. Plus, coalition of 16 states in United States sue President Donald Trump's administration over decision to declare emergency to raise funds for Mexican border. And now the news in detail. A crucial meeting of the top echelon of the nation's security apparatus has ended in Abuja with a firm resolve to ensure that eligible voters are not in any way hindered from exercising their franchise in the rescheduled general elections. The meeting, presided over by President Muhammadu Buhari, noted the significant improvement in the security situation across crisis-prone areas and took far-reaching measures towards sustaining the peace enterprise for a hitch-free electoral process. State House correspondent Adam Musambu has details.
The high-level strategic meeting summoned by President Muhammadu Buhari critically analyzed the prevailing security situation in the country, particularly in states that have what it described as higher than average security challenges. Consequently, the governors of Adamawa, Borno and Kaduna states were invited to bring the participants up to speed on what is obtainable in their respective states as day of voting in the rescheduled elections draw closer.
Across the states, we are ready for elections. We do not believe that the level of security challenges will preclude elections not taking place all over our states. We got assurances from Mr. President that whatever security assets we need, additional to what is already on ground to ensure that there are peaceful and hitch-free elections on Saturday, those assets will be provided.
The governors of Kaduna and Borno states in particular used the opportunity to respond to the prevailing media narrative regarding the veracity of their claims on the killings in their states.
The last report we got is that over 130 people were killed, not even 66. Okay? And the Fulani leaders have provided the names of all these people. We have the list, we will release it to the press. But some people are pretending this has not happened because it does not fit their ethnic or partisan narrative. It is totally irresponsible. This can happen to any one of us. We are going to go after them. All these people will face the laws of Kaduna State. I promise you.
The Boko Haram bask in the oxygen of publicity by attacking my convoy, by targeting my person. They have gotten the much needed boost. I'm ready to pay the supreme price if needs be. No matter how long the night is, it must give way to the light of the dawn. Stormy the weather might well be, but it won't rain forever. This madness will come to an end because it's a fight between light and darkness. It's a fight between truth and justice.
The meeting also discussed at length President Buhari's hard stance against those planning to sabotage the electoral process through whatever means, as explained by the Inspector General of Police, Muhammad Abubakar Adamu.
Every Nigerian is encouraged to come out on the election day and cast his or her votes without any fear of molestation. The security personnel are ready and prepared to protect everybody. Anybody that feels that he can come out and disrupt the process, he should have a rethink, because that situation will not be allowed. If you plan and allow yourself to be used as tout, if you come out, whatever happened to you, you take it. Ballot snatching, ballot buying, forgery will never be allowed. You better don't even allow yourself to be used.
The governors reaffirmed their support to the president in his determination towards safeguarding the nation's democracy, saying Nigerians who are not planning to go against the law have nothing to fear.
The fact that people are questioning the president's stance means that they had an agenda. If you have no plans to do that, shut up. That is the modus operandi. Go vote, because they are there to protect the lives of everyone and give everyone the choice to go and vote for a party of his choice.
I think the president deserves commendation, not condemnation.
The meeting, which lasted about 3 hours, was attended by the service chiefs and heads of the various security agencies in the country. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
Meanwhile, reorientation and rechanneling of the minds of youth through useful engagement has been identified as pivotal towards addressing national security. This was brought to the fore at the 2019 National Security Seminar with the theme Youth Bulge in Nigeria, Implications for National Security.
And indeed, the emasculation of the youth in every aspect of our national life has equally resulted in a myriad of socioeconomic challenges, which are the consequences of what we call the mismanagement of the youth population.
They are disturbed or worried about engagement, empowerment, and employment. That is the problem. And unless we look critically at these three words I've mentioned, we'll have difficulty trying to resolve the tendencies they have that might also lead to insecurity.
Bulge in Nigeria and the implication to national security. Youth in themselves could be very useful in national development. Nigeria is blessed that we have youth in a large population of youth that could develop our economy.
Seminar is to come up with recommendations that will be presented for adoption by policymakers for implementation to address youth restiveness and crime in the country. And now the attention of the Department of State Services has been drawn to insinuations and wide speculations that its former Director General, Alhaji Lawal Musa Daura, still controls the agency long after his removal from office. In a statement signed by the DSS Public Relations Officer, Peter Afunanya, any person or group that further engages him or his representatives or associates does so at their own peril. It further adds that the service will not tolerate acts of impersonation designed to undermine it and will deal decisively with anyone, no matter how highly placed the persons may be. And security agencies in Ondo State say they are on the trail of the killers of 4 officials of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency in Ifonne, Akure, Ondo State. Olubumioke has details.
The Ondo State commander of the agency, Aruna Gagara, described the loss of his men in an unprovoked attack as painful.
We are not sure of the definite motive behind what happened, but it will not be unconnected with the activities of some drug dealers and cannabis planters within the state, because of recent they feel that they've been receiving the heat. We have destroyed so many bags of cannabis sativa. We have also destroyed their farms.
He said despite the attacks, the agency will not relent in its fight against abuse and trafficking of narcotics in the state, stressing that perpetrators of the crime will be brought to book.
This incident will not deter us from performing our statutory responsibility, but rather it will, spur us to more action.
The State Police Public Relations Officer, Femi Joseph, says the police will not rest until the killers of the NDLEA officials are fished out.
We have launched a manhunt to ensure that those perpetrators do not get away with what they have done.
4 NDLEA officers on patrol duties were gunned down by unknown gunmen and their patrol vehicle burnt down at Ifon along Ikaro area of Ondo State. In Akure, Olubumi Oke, NTA News.
And back to election matters now. President Muhammadu Buhari has appealed to all Nigerian voters to brave the challenges and ensure that they cast their votes on Saturday. The president, in a video message, assured voters of protection before, during and after the polls.
I wish to commiserate with millions of Nigerians who either traveled hundreds of kilometers to cast their votes or who put so many things on hold in order to cast their votes last weekend but couldn't do so. I thank you for your commitment, and I feel to you not to lose hope in our electoral system. I ask you not to allow the unexpected postponement of the election dates by INEC to prevent you from exercising your civic rights. Your enthusiasm for the process and your determination to vote in the election must not be dampened. I urge all Nigerian voters to brave the challenges and ensure that they cast their votes. This government assures all voters of their protection before, during, and after the polls. I also thank Nigerians for their patience and trust in our government to deliver credible elections where your votes will count. Your votes will count as we are committed to lead our electoral process of vote buying and manipulations. Thank you, and God bless the people and the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Meanwhile, the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Professor Mahmood Yakubu, has assured Nigerians that the commission is working extremely hard to ensure that the elections are free, fair and credible. Mia Ogidi was at the media briefing where the INEC chairman gave the assurance.
Professor Mahmood Yakubu forward-looking in his plans for a credible elections and not keeping any of these plans to his chest. So, words of assurances dished out.
By 4 p.m. yesterday, all issues relating to the delivery of materials were identified and virtually addressed. Ballot papers, result sheets, and a host of non-sensitive materials are now in location across of the Federation and the Federal Capital Territory. I want to report that we have achieved 95% configuration of the 180,000 smart card readers, and this process is going to be completed early morning on Wednesday.
After those words of optimism, the INEC boss was taken to task on critical issues such as alleged arrest of INEC officials by security personnel, collection of bribe by INEC officials, and tampering with election materials.
We have always said we are going to come clean and open and transparent before Nigerians. Yes, in the course of distribution, you may find a parcel that belongs to one state in another state. Once that is discovered, it's handed back to the central bank, and the central bank delivers the parcel to the right state.
For election offenders, the Electoral Act will catch up with them.
I would also like to appeal to all political leaders, political actors, and others to please speak in a manner that does not contribute to overheating the polity and the political atmosphere.
And the briefings of this nature will going to be on daily basis, precisely at 3 p.m. every day till the elections will commence. I am Mie Ogidi from the International Conference Center in Abuja.
Thank you, Mayor. Preparations are ongoing ahead of the rescheduled general elections, and the media and police are not left out as part of key players on whom the electoral process depends for reliable information and security to cast their votes. To this end, the stakeholders are meeting in Abuja to fashion out better ways of relating to achieve credible, transparent and fair elections. Momso Damian Deti has details.
Two critical players in every electoral process are the police and media, on whom the entire electorates depend for the security of their lives and adequate information on the result of their choices. The stake of these key actors makes it necessary for a good working relationship to be established in order to actualize the essence of true democracy. The reason why these police officers are interfacing to share experiences and strengthen the media-police relations in view of the upcoming elections.
We need to build institutional capacity to strengthen the process.
The nation stands taller than any other interest. You know.
The media have the responsibility of observing at close range the processes and informing both the actors, that is the contestants, and then the voters.
So the media need to report responsibly and in a balanced and fair manner. The police need to ensure the security of both media as well as the citizenry.
Of a sustainable democracy, it's important for the police to be neutral.
The event was organized by the Nigerian Union of Journalists in collaboration with Media Foundation in West Africa. Momso Damian Deti, News.
You're watching the news on NTA International. There'll be more news after this timeout.
Manager people, make we make the right choice, yo. Make we vote for a man of integrity. Hey, so make we gather together and make this change. Work, my people of Nigeria. Together we go carry Nigeria to the next level. Nigeria don't decide. Vote Baba Buhari. Baba Buhari, na man of integrity. Man, we no corrupt, we no go chop our money. Hey, agriculture, the next level. Fight corruption, the next level. Good road, to the next level. Electricity, to the next level. Revenue, to the next level. Empower, to the next level. We got money. For good health we go. Baba Buhari, my people, for the next level. ABC, next level. Naija people, make we all come out to vote Baba Buhari.
This message is from Buhari Next Level Group.
We, the Nigerian youth, have resolved to stand with you, Baba, in the next level. We recognize your commitment to create jobs and empower the youth. Your strategic policies in the agri-sector has not only increased gainful employment and boosted production, but also saved the nation billions of dollars in foreign exchange. We are benefiting from your deployment of infrastructure across the country, with Abuja, Kaduna, and Lagos-Abeokuta rail lines completed. Itakpe-Abeokuta-Warri rail line will soon be completed, while Lagos-Kano rail line is under construction. Additional 1,531 kilometers of roads have been completed and over 1,000 kilometers rehabilitated across the country. The second Niger bridge is on the way through Presidential Infrastructure Development Fund. Hydropower plants in Mambila, Zungeru, and many other power projects are under construction to add value to the improved power generation, transmission, and distribution in the country. Brokering and sustaining peace in the Niger Delta has helped stabilize the economy, thereby increasing investment in the oil and gas sector. We are coming with you to the next level to see the Empower scheme increase to 1.5 million beneficiaries and full implementation of the 10 billion Naira Youth Entrepreneurship Project. Nigerian youth, let's connect to the next level. This message is powered by Dr. Tony Uoye, Director Youth Mobilization, APC Presidential Campaign Council.
NTA International News. Africa as it is.
Thanks for staying with NTA International. The Coalition of Civil Society Organizations for Justice and Equity has passed a vote of confidence on the leadership of President Muhammadu Buhari. Chimabi Walter Naji reports that the vote of confidence is born out of the president's position against corruption.
At the onset of the present administration, there was the promise for economic rejuvenation, fight against corruption, and improvement of social safety for ordinary Nigerians. These promises were the focus of investigation by the Coalition of Civil Society Organizations for Justice and Equity. The press conference was to highlight some of the achievements of the Buhari-led administration in enthroning equity and prudence in the affairs of the nation.
This is affirmed or attested to by the successes recorded in the fight against corruption hitherto. You may wish to know that some of the achievements include the full enforcement of BVN and TSA, securing conviction of some politically exposed individuals, recovery of many looted funds. We hereby pass vote of confidence on President Muhammadu Buhari, affirming him as a true, sincere, and genuine anti-corruption champion.
The group urged Nigeria's voting population to support President Muhammadu Buhari so as to consolidate the achievements of government for the progress and development of Nigeria. In Abuja, Chimubi Walter Naji, NTA News.
Now, the presidency has reiterated President Muhammadu Buhari's comment that anyone who dares to snatch ballot boxes during Saturday's elections will be doing this for the last time, saying it should be seen as a strong message against the long history of savagery associated with elections in the country. Speaking to State House correspondents on Monday, the presidential spokesperson Garba Shehu recalled some past elections in parts of Nigeria during which innocent voters lost their lives while ballot boxes were snatched by armed thugs. The presidential spokesperson said about 10 years ago, evidence was brought before an election tribunal from one of the states in the north-central part of the country of the gruesome killing of 26 prospective voters by ballot box snatchers. He further expressed concern about those attacking the president's comment and their worry over the fate of anyone caught snatching ballot boxes. Malan Shehu said it sounded like members of the opposition, specifically the PDP, have perfected plans to rig the elections and snatch ballot boxes. Meanwhile, Muslim women in Kano have offered special prayers for the success of President Muhammadu Buhari in the forthcoming presidential elections. The prayer session was organized by the northern team of the Buhari campaign organization. Awal Salisu reports that the congregation sought Allah's protection for President Buhari against evil plots and also strength for the task ahead.
More than 200 women converged on Komaja quarters to offer prayers for the success of the elections and the victory of President Buhari. The prayer also seeks for a divine succor for the resolution of the challenges hindering the conduct of free, fair and credible elections, as it has been the dream of the president.
Today we have done 3 recitations and we have done a lot of prayers, all for President Muhammadu Buhari's re-election.
In Kano, Awal Salisu, NTA News.
And now let's join Ado Adamu also for news from other parts of the world.
Glad to have you join us on this segment of the news. We start from the neighboring Cameroon, where students and staff who were kidnapped on Saturday have been freed, says the Bishop of Kumbo. A total of 176 persons, mostly students, were kidnapped by unidentified gunmen at St. Augustine's College in Kumbo, northwest region of Cameroon. It is the largest school kidnapping in Cameroonian's English-speaking region since separatist unrest began in 2017. The Bishop of Kumbo, Giorgio Zunko, confirmed that the church officials had negotiated the release of the hostages on the condition that the school would be shut down. And now to Asia. Pakistan has warned that it will retaliate if India takes military action against it after a militant attack on Indian forces in Kashmir. Prime Minister Imran Khan, who called on India to provide evidence to support its claims that Pakistan was involved in the attack, which led to the death of more than 40 members of India's security forces on Thursday. And a coalition of 16 states in the United States, led by California, is suing President Donald Trump's administration over his decision to declare an emergency to raise funds for a Mexico border wall. Mr. Trump made the declaration on Friday to bypass Congress after it refused to approve $5.7 billion for the wall. The Democrat opposed funding Mr. Trump's barrier, a key campaign pledge, and had vowed to contest his plan. The lawsuit filed on Monday seeks to stop Mr. Trump acting on his emergency declaration to build the wall, saying the president does not have the power to divert funds approved by Congress. And that is it from here. Thank you for watching. I am Adwa Demwalso.
Up next is Sports Update.
Nigerian clubs are battle ready for match day 10